Hey everybody, it is your boy NCS7 here. Welcome to another review video. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Mario Strikers Battle League for the Nintendo Switch. This game came out about a month ago, and I've played it for quite a bit of time, and, well, I may as well talk about it. And I'm pretty sure you guys already know what I'm going to say, so I won't waste any time really getting into it. So, let's start off with, of course, the presentation for this game. Now, this is another Mario Strikers game. Now, keep in mind, I've not played the other two Mario Strikers games, the one on the GameCube or Wii, so this was my first experience with it. But it seems to basically be another successor of one of those games, Mario with soccer or football in Europe, if you're that kind of person, because screw naming conventions. But honestly, there isn't really a lot to say with the presentation of this game, because honestly, what's a really good game and it has really cool style, there's really not anything that really differentiates this game too much from the other Mario Strikers games, at least from what I could see. Because again, I didn't play the first two, but it doesn't really seem like this game really brings anything super new, aside from like one move that I'll explain later. But regardless though, it's not too bad. It's nothing horrible. And visually, the game actually looks quite good, honestly. It's not amazing, and honestly, the Mario sports games on the Switch honestly do look quite good, at least visually, but Mario Strikers definitely looks really nice, especially with the hand-drawn style that plays during the Hyper Strike attacks, which I'll get to those later. But the animations, it's so good, and the animation is incredible. Like, the victory animations, like DK dancing all around is so goddamn funny and awesome to look at. But unfortunately, that's the only real thing I can say that positive about the game. So presentation-wise, it's gotta pass. And in terms of the story, there is no story, which is a little bit of a shame considering what I'll talk about later. But moving on to the gameplay. Now, it's pretty much a soccer game, and keep in mind, I haven't even played any other soccer games or football games, whatever the hell you want to call it. So this is my first experience with one of them, and at first, I was awful. I was genuinely frustrated because I could not do anything right. And then I went to sleep, and then all of a sudden, just overnight, I just randomly became actually kind of okay at it. Granted, I put the CPUs on easy, but hey, I was at least actually starting to score some more points and really understand how the game plays. And at that point, the game actually became more fun. It's basically soccer, but you got a bunch of stuff that you can do, like a bunch of trick shots you can do, like passing around and whatnot. But you also got stuff like items that you can use, like green shells, red shells, bombs, and stars and whatnot. You know, your typical Mario fare. And you've also got a brand new ability, that being the Hyper Strike. Every now and then, this red or so orb will come down, and when your team touches it, one of your teammates will be able to use a Hyper Strike. You have to time 2 button presses at just the right time, and then you get this really cool animated scene that's like all hand drawn and whatnot that you can see. And then it's basically a power move that pretty much guarantees the goal if you can get both of the gauges blue. It's fine. I like it a lot. I really like the style of it. It just looks really cool, but that's kind of all I can really say about it. I could see this getting kind of annoying after a while because from what I know, I don't think there's any option to turn off the animations. And while they're really nice, I'm pretty sure after seeing the same animation for like 100 times, I'm pretty sure you'd want to be able to skip it. And these can last like 10 or so seconds. It's not super long, but I could see some people getting tired of seeing it after enough time. But it's not the biggest issue ever. And besides, they could add that within a free update, but we'll get to that later. And that's pretty much the gameplay of the game. That's literally it. Yeah, there's really not much else to this game, honestly. And I'll talk about that in a little bit later, but like, gameplay-wise, it's actually kind of fun. It's not too complicated, but it's also not too simple that it's not deeper and captivating at all. It's fun, but there's some stuff later. So gameplay-wise, it's got to pass. And control-wise, the game controls completely fine. Not much to really say on that front. Now, content. Okay, so this is where the whole fun aspect comes in. This is where pretty much I want to talk about this the most, because everybody's talked about how this game has no content, and yes, this game does not have any content. CPU battles are pretty much the only thing you can really do. Let me just spell everything out that you can do. You got CPU battles. Okay. You've also got the tournaments. No, you can't even make a tournament either. It's just tournaments it's just there, but whatever. You got tournaments with CPUs, which is kind of the single player campaign, but it really isn't. I don't know. Then, what's next? Well, you got like the clubs and whatnot for like online play if you want to get competitive and whatnot. You can start a club and you can get people to join it, or join one yourself and playing like during the seasons and whatnot. I mean, I guess that's fine if you're like a competitive player, but I am absolutely not into competitive play in these games at all, so no thanks on that. And then you've got like gear, because you essentially, when you complete like matches and whatnot, you get a certain amount of coins, and then you can use those to buy more gear to buff up your characters. Which, let's get to the characters. Lots of people have complained about the roster, lots of people complain that it's too short, and yes, it's too short. I initially didn't think it was a big deal, but when I actually played the game and played a few matches and saw that there's really not enough, yeah, there aren't enough characters. Obviously, everyone's talked about Daisy, which I'm not gonna lie is kind of weird. Like, I understand she was one of the more sporty characters out of the Mario cast, but seriously, did anyone ever care about Daisy before? It's not like anyone really gave two craps about her when she came into Smash Ultimate, and now all of a sudden everyone likes her? The only people I can think of that like Daisy are artists for special artwork. Seriously, it's like everyone all of a sudden loves Daisy. But even with that aside, I still feel like there's way too few characters. But to be honest, it's fine if they can add more characters and updates, but that's my issue with this game. There's not enough content, and they're just going to add that content within free updates over the course of a year. And I know everybody's talked about this to death, and I know that you hearing me talk about it is going to be old, and you probably heard it 1,000 times, but seriously, why can't they release their games on time? I mean, seriously, and Next Level Games was developing this game, and that gave me a lot of hope, because you know what other games Next Level Games made? Well, they made the earlier Mario Strikers games, which seemed to be better, but also made Luigi's Mansion Darkman and Luigi's Mansion 3, the latter of which being one of my favorite games from them, let alone one of my favorite Nintendo games ever. Luigi's Mansion 3 is such a great game, and to see them just devolve this much just hurts. Now, to be honest, I don't think it was really Next Level Games that chose to make it like this. I'm very certain Nintendo probably told them they only had to do the bare minimum for release. And seriously, this game is $60. But I honestly don't even think the game's worth $30 at all. There's seriously too little to this game. I mean, it's fun, yeah, but I could see myself dropping the game like after a month. And I could say the exact same about everyone else. There's just not enough content to this game. This game should have been a finished product. And it's just a shame that all of the Nintendo sports games have to suffer the same fate. We literally had this, like, not that long ago with Nintendo Switch Sports, and I dropped that game after 4 hours and never played it again. It's just sad, honestly. So content-wise, this game really sucks at it. And then we have the music, and the music in the game is kind of just whatever. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot about to talk about, the actual stadiums you can select. I mean, I kind of like the idea that you can have like two halves for like two stadiums, but it's like, seriously, there's only 5 stadiums. Are you serious? And they're not even that different either. They just changed the colors a little bit. Disappointing. Anyways, moving on to my final thoughts. I wanted to like this game, and I was hopeful that it would actually be good. Finding out it was being developed by Next Level Games really gave me hope, because the last 2 Mario Sports games, that being Mario Tennis Aces and Mario Golf Super Rush, really didn't seem that great, although I never played Super Rush, so yeah. But unfortunately, Mario Strikers Battle League was just not good. It's just another game to add to the list of Nintendo games that aren't being finished on release date. Seriously, I wouldn't even mind it if it at least had the same amount of content as the earlier games. At least then there's something to do. At least then it's at least on par with the previous games. But it just misses the mark completely. This game is just so sad, and it's kind of sad to see because it's just not good. It's not good to see any of this. So, on my scale of 0 to 10, I give Mario Strikers Battle League a 6 out of 10. I do really like the gameplay for these matches. It's fun, but it's not fun enough to keep playing. They don't do anything with the gameplay in this game at all. Everything's just the same matches and whatnot. There's really nothing to this game at all. It's more of a tech demo, honestly, more so than anything. And that's a problem. Like, when you're paying $60 for basically a glorified tech demo, you know you screwed up, but I don't know. I kind of would like to end it on a more positive note and be like, maybe Nintendo could learn from this, but honestly, they're probably not going to learn from this. It's a shame, and honestly, anytime I see a Nintendo sports game in the future, all I'm going to think of is, oh gee, look at another game that's going to be completely half-baked. Because it's happened so many times at this point. Mario Tennis Aces, Mario Golf Super Rush, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Mario Strikers Battle League. I'm just disappointed, honestly. And that's all I really have to say about it. I would not recommend buying this game. It's just not a good idea. There's not enough to this game. Maybe if Nintendo can actually update the game, maybe then I would say it's worth it, but I don't think you should get it, because I'm going to be honest, most people are going to stop playing the game very quickly after release, because keep in mind, there's not enough to do, so you may as well just play something else. You may as well spend that $60 on Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Even with my issues with that game is way better. It has a lot more love put into it. It's actually a complete game. You can get a lot of playtime out of it. Just buy 3 Hopes instead. It's an objectively better game, as said by me right now. But anyways, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comment section. I'm very certain everyone's going to agree with me on this, honestly, because everyone seems to be in agreement over this. And let me know whatever you want in the comments section. Let me know how your day's been going, but don't ask me any questions about your homework. I don't even know how I got on that tangent. I'm going to end the video. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. Peace out and have a good day. And please, for the love of God, do not play this game at all. Bye.